So guys, here we are, and we're going to replace the brakes on this Ford Transit 2011. So I'm just about to remove the wheel, because you'll need to remove the wheel first to get to the brakes obviously. So I'll get this removed now, and then we'll crack on showing you how to do the brakes. So here we have the disc here. Now it don't look too bad, that there's no grooving in it, and these are the pads here and the caliper. This is the front strut, and that's obviously the shock absorber with the suspension spring there. This here is your brake line for your brake fluid, and this one here is your ABS sensor, so it's careful, do not damage that. That will send your electrics a little bit haywire. So you've got like the prop shaft going into there, the CV boot, the drop link here, and the track control rod here. So again, don't bother with these, because you don't need to bother with these at this stage. So what we need to do is remove this spring here to get the pads out, and then we need to come around the back here and get inside these to get the bolts out to remove the caliper. This here is your bleeding nut, so we'll need to use that in a second to release the caliper. First things first is to remove this pair of pliers. Do it. It just prizes out eventually, like that. There we go. Just put that in a safe place. Next thing we need to do is get to these around the back. There's a little dust cover on them there, and I need to determine what size. I think it's probably an Allen key that goes in the back. I might be wrong though. Oh, someone left these out in rain. It could be a spline though, I'm not sure, or it could be the torque one, I'm not sure. Let's try the next one. Yep, that one's out. Next one, you do the one at the bottom. If you can find it. Sometimes it's best to put the tool in first and then do it. So once you get them bolts out, it might just need a bit of a tap, but you can usually just waggle the thing off. Sometimes it's because the caliper is just if it proves a bit of a difficult thing, just use a hammer just to, there we go, there you see it's come off. So these are the old pads, wearing a little bit thin now. Size 7 hexagon So that's what we use to remove the bolts at the back. Once you have the caliper out, what you need to do is wind this plunger back in so you can get the new pads in. So when you're winding the piston back in, we have a special tool for doing this. Now if you're doing this as it is, you might want to release the nut there, because what will happen is as you're pushing the fluid back into the master cylinder, it might flip the seals, so the seals will be facing the wrong way because the pressure of the fluid will have flipped them round, and what will happen is your brakes will stop working. So it's an idea to crack that off, because you'll need to do that to bleed the brakes anyway, so we'll do that to be on the safe side. Okay, so what I've done here is I have a one-man brake and clutch bleeding kit, which is basically a tube and a bottle, and attached it to the nipple there. This will catch any fluid because I don't want any fluid going all over the brakes and all over the driveway as well. So what I could tell, this is a 9mm spanner, that's an 8, and it's a little bit rusty, so what we do is crack off the nut a little bit and start winding this in. So so there we have it. Once you've wound it in, it should go all the way in, and you can see a little bit of fluids come out into the tube on there, so that's saved a lot of time. So the next thing you need to do is lock that off again to make sure nothing else comes out. Always pull that off, put it somewhere safe. So that's ready to go back on. So these are the new pads. These are the old ones. As you can see, they have a spring clip on the back. So what that does is that fits into the piston there. So you just have to slide it in. What you need to do is get that thing on there. They all have like a spring clip on, so that will fit into the piston at the back. Like I say, these are the old ones. There's the spring clip, and then what you need to do is fit the other one. These don't have the spring clip on, so that one needs to go on there like that. The caliper should just fit on like that. It's got the caliper back on. You can tighten these back up, so they just need locating into position first. I just put that back on to release a bit more fluid out of the caliper to get that on. So using the number 7 hex, you need to do this by hand to get the thread started. Once you've got the thread started, you can use your ratchet. So you need to do the top and the bottom, and hopefully your camera doesn't move when you're doing it. These are the brakes obviously on your car, so they need to be really tight. Make sure they're really tight. There we see caliper back on. This does move around a lot because the wheel studs hold that in place. And here we have that. So what you need to do is put the spring back on. So all that's left to do now is put the spring back on. As you can see, I put some copper grease on the pad. This will stop it, you know, it just gives it a little bit of lubrication in between the caliper and the pad. So basically you just put the spring in, it needs to go around that, and then with a pair of pliers you just need to get that one in. So the easiest way is to get it started in the hole. Get a bit of a tap with the hammer, and then there we go. Need about 15 pair of hands sometimes to do stuff like this. That will hold into place there. There we go. So there we go, that's the spring put in. So once again you just attach that to the end. You can slide that down to hold it in place. That will hold it onto the nipple. This is called the one-man bleed kit. It's called a one-man bleed kit because you only need to bleed it yourself. You can just undo the nipple like that, and all you need to do is pump your brakes. So what this basically does is it traps all the fluid into the tube and eliminates any airlocks. And it saves the job. It used to be a two-man job doing the brakes, but now you can just do this, and saves a bit of time. There are other kits available, but if you don't use if you don't do a lot of mechanicking, then it's well worth getting one of them. So there we go guys, this is the Ford Transit Connect, and that is how you change the brakes on the front. Quite an easy job, only takes you about half an hour. So once you've done one side, you know how to do the other side. The other side is the same as this side, so there's no point in doing a video for the other side because you've already seen what we're doing on that side. So yeah, once again, hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my other videos if you've not already seen them. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.